12 Minutes is one of the most disappointing games I've had the displeasure of playing. It's rare these days that I play a game I wanted to like so much, but couldn't bring myself to enjoy. This hate wasn't immediate, but a build-up. Like a katamari of small annoyances, cascading into a ball of negativity. I held on to hope though. I clung to it. My enjoyment of time loop fiction would allow me to turn a blind eye to the small things, if the conclusion could really wow me. Well, it did wow me, but not in the way I thought it would. The end of this game took that katamari of annoyances and shot it into space, making a moon of despair. You might be thinking to yourself, it can't be that bad, Dips. You're playing it up. Buddy, if only you knew how bad things really are. Well, I guess soon you will. I say this only as a formality, but I'm going to be spoiling all of 12 Minutes. You'll have to forgive me, but I'm probably going to be jumping around between complaining about something in this game and talking about the story. In 12 Minutes, our nameless protagonist, who is sometimes called husband, but for the time being all called John Doe, returns home from work. After a Shining reference and the worst place imaginable to hide a key, John Doe enters his apartment. John Doe is greeted by his nameless wife, who is named Wife. Wife tells John Doe that she's made him dessert. They sit down and enjoy their cake. Wife then hits John with some fantastic news.
Baby clothes?
Yeah. I'm pregnant! We're having a baby!
What? Wow.
Yeah, wow.
They're having a baby. The romantic night continues as the couple slow dance in the candlelit apartment. Things take a drastic sharp turn though, when a nameless cop named Cop enters the couple's home. He drops a bombshell that Wife is wanted for the murder of her father, a murder that she allegedly committed 8 years ago. The cop demands she tell him where a pocket watch is. She's dumbfounded by this barrage of questions and accusations. Unhappy with her response, Cop then turns his attention to John Doe. John Doe is then strangled to death before the location of the watch is revealed.
Please don't stop. Stop! Oh my god. Help! Please! Somebody help!
Oh fuck, that was brutal.
The time loop has now begun. Did John Doe's wife really kill her father? And who's that cop? Why does the cop want to watch so bad? Is this watch even real? Prodding the wife for answers yields no positive results. You either need to find proof that she's hiding something, or this cop is sorely mistaken. I enjoyed trying to convince the wife that there's a time loop happening. Well, I enjoyed it at first. It becomes rather dull later on, when it's just something you have to do to make progress in the story. Convincing her can either pass or fail, depending on what kind of proof you bring her. Telling her that you know a song will play next on the radio won't faze her, as she claims they always play the same songs. However, predicting a lightning storm does seem to perk up her ears. But to really seal the deal, you need to use knowledge that you couldn't possibly know about. Telling her that she's pregnant and that the wrap present is baby clothes seals the deal for her. The thing is, Wife knowing that you're in a time loop isn't going to stop that cop from kicking your door in. You still need a way to solve this problem. This is a time loop game where it feels like you're solving a puzzle. You use your preordained knowledge to get to the next step of this puzzle. You know the cop wants the watch. Wife is hiding the watch. You need her to talk about it, but she won't budge. How can she be forced to talk about it? Well, if you're clever, you might think, what if I hide in the closet before she notices I come home? And this does work. The cop will enter the apartment and cuff the wife. She tells him where the watch is. There's an aspect of the time loop this game captures really well. After Cop gets what he needs, he shoots the wife in the head and makes it look like she did it herself. John Doe's reaction is what I liked and wish the game had more of.
Are you? No. It'll restart. It has to restart. I can't do this. It's not really like losing you, all right? And the baby, oh fuck. It's gonna restart. I know it will.
He's becoming desensitized by the loop. The death of his wife hurts him, but he's sure it won't matter. It will reset and everything will be okay. This can be experienced with a number of things. Making John Doe use a knife on himself is understandably a hard task to do, but each time he hesitates a little less and becomes better at the morbid act.
Oh my god. What? Oh shit.
Police, open.
Hunter. I wasn't expecting a storm. Oh my god.
Well, at least that's getting easier.
The same can be done with the cop's revolver.
Oh my. How the fuck am I?
What?
Well, at least that's getting easier.
While I do like this aspect of the game, it doesn't really do much with it past domestic violence and self-harm. John Doe never becomes more cunning. He doesn't really use his future sight to his advantage. Sure, John will comment that dying has become less hard as he dies more, but rather annoyingly, he can't kill the cop with a kitchen knife. You might think with infinite tries, the game would eventually let you get one over on him, but it doesn't. Try as you might, you will always fail at this task. You're being railroaded. Creative thinking isn't permitted here. The violence at 12 minutes can be disturbing. 12 minutes won't shy away from how gruesome murder or self-harm can be. Since it's a game though, it can never fully commit. In non-interactive stories, the main character killing his wife should mean something. However, since it's a video game, I can do something this gruesome and then do something completely silly right afterwards.
No coming back from this. If I do this, I'm a killer forever. I'm sorry, oh fuck, I'm so sorry. Oh god, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, baby.
Please help.
So good.
Also, since the player has free will, I can make a character stick a knife into an outlet over and over again for no reason other than I find it amusing.
Ow! Fucking hell, that hurt so much the second time.
Once you learn where the watch is, you could cut to the chase and show it to her, as long as the bathroom door was shut.
What are you doing? Why would you do that? You're gonna
So this
ruin
was
the
our
experiment
father's
because
watch.
all because you.
Must be
I don't even
worth
know
a lot
what
of
you're
money.
looking for. That's it. I'm out of here.
If you properly secure the watch without her seeing, you can now confront her with it. Without wasting time, John Doe will tell her that he's stuck in a time loop, and then in a couple of minutes, a cop is going to come and kick the door in. He's going to accuse her of murdering her father, and then try and steal this watch. This is enough to make her come clean.
I don't even know where to start. My dad wasn't always the man he wanted to be. After I was born, my mom was really focused on me, and I guess my dad felt it doesn't matter. He started sleeping with my nanny. It was the start of my mom's spiral. Nothing was the same after she died. I blamed him. I mean, it was sort of his fault. And I poked at him a lot. We fought. Nobody can hurt you like the ones you love, right? Oh, anyway, God.
Hey, I know that this is hard, but please, I need to know.
Yeah. Christmas Eve, he had caught me trying to sneak out, and I was so mad. I just poked at him and prodded at him, and he hit me.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, I saw red, of course, and he always had guns around. I grabbed one, and I shot him, and I just ran. Made it here on New Year's Eve. That Polaroid on the fridge was actually taken an hour after I got here. I was gonna turn myself in, but it was a new year. A few weeks later, you showed up and things were almost good before it all ended today. I killed my father. Never thought I'd say that out loud. And now you know.
That's great and all, but this is something that the cop already knows. Something's missing, and finding that something might take forever. This is where a creeping problem with the game begins. It could be a lot of trial and error. The problem is the punishment for screwing up is having to redo everything all over again. I know what you're thinking. First of all, this is normal for games. Of course you have to start over if you screw up. Secondly, it's a time loop. Of course you're going to repeat things, dummy. Yes, both of these things are true, but after a certain point, this effect loses its luster. It just starts to become annoying. To borrow a quote from somebody else, it feels less like watching Bill Murray in Groundhog Day and more like being Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. 12 Minutes is a point and click. One that shares a lot in common with older point and clicks, and not in the good way. Sure, more than a few point and clicks from back in the day are looked upon fondly now, but they were also filled with bizarro world moon logic puzzles. Want to know what makes a moon logic puzzle even more annoying? Adding a time limit to it. I must stress that while I do like time-based elements in some games, in those cases, the time limits are not this bad. In the case of Outer Wilds, I can only think of 2 moments where you're actually pressed for time. More than a few times, you'll find yourself clicking your mouse as fast as possible to skip the same dialogue you've heard already, so you could get to the new information that you need. What was once a dramatic moment of a character spilling their guts out about their past trauma is now nothing more than a hindrance to you. The same 5 minutes play out ad nauseum. The game's own style is now becoming its crux. There's almost something comical about it all. A time loop game that actually wears you down with its tedium and frustrates you for making mistakes that hit a dead end. I love time loop stories, so having what might as well be a time loop simulator should be my jam. I guess that quote I said does hold water. I don't want to be Bill Murray in Groundhog's Day. I want to watch Bill Murray in Groundhog's Day. One specifically annoying moment is proving the wife's alibi to prevent the cop from killing you. This game has a couple of twists. The first being that the wife isn't the real killer. You need to now prove this fact. Wife will confess that she shot her father 8 years ago on Christmas after he started to hit her. After shooting him, she took his pocket watch and ran away to a new city, far away. The photo on the couple's fridge is from the same New Year's Eve party they met at that very same year. To continue, you're gonna have to hear what Cop has to say. Unfortunately, he's not the talking type. The only way to make him talk is to take him hostage first. But one simply doesn't take him hostage. First, you're gonna have to drug your pregnant wife with some sleeping pills. Hold on. Next, you have to set up your light switch so it shocks whoever turns it on next. Then you're gonna have to hide in the closet and wait. The cop will now come in and electrocute himself when he turns on the bedroom light. Now you need to handcuff him. Don't forget to take his knife, cell phone, and gun. Cop still won't talk until you make him talk. He'll mention the wife's part of the story, but he adds a new detail she didn't. The cop claims that wife came back on New Year's Eve to finish the job and shoot him again. If the actual murder happened on New Year's Eve, it's impossible. It couldn't be her. The photograph on the fridge proves that she couldn't be in both places at once. She has an alibi. The bar that the photograph was taken in and the location of the murder are hundreds of miles away from each other. The time of death makes it impossible for her to kill him and end up in that bar. Now a new loop so you can prove to her that she didn't do it. She already believes that you're in a time loop, so explaining to her that you learned that she's not the real murderer, that her father was killed on New Year's Eve and not Christmas, relieves her. However, this isn't going to stop the cop from kicking your door in. What you need to do is buy yourself some more time. Call the cop's daughter with the number that you wrote down. You know, the one that was in his cell phone. You did remember to look at the cop's phone, right? This means you're gonna have to redo everything again. Drug your pregnant wife again, tamper with the light switch again, hide in the closet again, cuff the cop again, take his phone again. Make sure you look at the phone this time. You can also tell her about her father's intentions to murder you. This will cause the cop to leave the apartment building entirely and never come back again. The cop never kicking the door in will lead to a romantic night with wife in bed. Much to the dismay of John Doe, this won't end the loop though. I do like his breakdown here though. It's very well done.
Love you, you know?
I do know. I really love. What? No. No. What else do I? I did everything right. I did everything right.
The correct thing to do is to ask her to reason with her father. Now and only now will the cop knock on your door and ask to be let in instead. The phone is emblematic of my issues with the gameplay. The problem solving in this game isn't very fun, and it often feels like I'm being railroaded. Having to redo anything in this game felt like a chore. Wait for wife to come out of the bathroom. Look for the watch. Tell her about the watch. Repeat this until the game is over. Repeating sequences is common in time loop games. Hell, it's common in most games. But it's not soul draining in Majora's Mask or Outer Wilds. Both games I just cited gives you the option to explore other avenues if you ever feel stuck. In 12 minutes, you're stuck in the same 3 rooms. Oh, I can't forget the closet. You'll be spending a lot of time in the closet. Its use in practice is limited, but luckily for me I'm a pro at it. You can hide in the closet to speed up time till the moment the cop kicks the door in. It's also the location of the only phone in the whole apartment. The cop will come in and the 3 of you will talk like adults. After being shown evidence that it's impossible that she committed this murder, they discuss what could have really happened. Wife mentions her father's affair with the nanny and how she ended up pregnant, a detail even the cop didn't know about. Wife tells cop that the affair destroyed her mother. She cursed the bastard child and wouldn't call her by his real name. She only called him Monster. Now things are starting to click. The real killer is the half-brother. This right here. This is the moment where the game jumps the shark. Prior to this moment, I had so many thoughts about what could be going on. While the game was rather annoying to play, I was invested in the story. I did want to learn the truth. Is this MacGuffin watch the reason for the time loop? Is it some sort of Izanami trap? One that can only be broken if the watch is selflessly given up? Maybe the cop wants this watch not for its value, but perhaps for the power it might hold. Maybe something— it's nothing. It's actually nothing. The watch is meaningless. It holds no purpose. At least not a tangible one. But I'll get to that in a second. Wife has confessed to what she did. She has a clear conscience. She's not a murderer like she thought. Wife can now move on and live happily with John Doe. They can have their baby Dahlia together and live happily ever after. The cop can now save his little girl and put the anger behind him. He's gonna still look for the real killer, but maybe, just maybe, he won't seek revenge anymore. These are the thoughts I had at that moment. Sure, gameplay-wise, it was frustrating me to no end, but right now, the game can really win me back. Till this happens. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words.
I'll look for your brother. I'll start with the nanny, go from there.
How much do you remember about her?
It's been a long time.
Do you remember her name?
Something flowery. Daphne, Daisy, something like that. I'll dig into it. I'll let you know when I know more.
Sure. Look at this.
Cute one, see? So, what?
The name. Look at the name. Is that the nanny that he had the affair with?
Oh, yes! Dahlia! That's it. Her name was Dahlia.
Why are you saying this?
no,
Is this some kind
please,
of
God.
joke? This is funny to you?
She was my
Mother.
No. No. No.
I have to give them credit. I didn't see it coming. Is this twist unnecessary shock value? Yes. Is it gross? Also yes. Does adding incest automatically make your story bad? No. There's a Korean movie that pulls it off really well. You know the one I'm talking about. So it can work, but man, this twist adds a tonal shift to the game. When John Doe and wife find out the truth, they understandably have panic attacks. John Doe then has a panic attack so intense, he faints into another loop. However, every loop after this one goes right back to normal. John Doe and wife go back to kissing as if nothing ever happened. Because of the reset, she's not aware of the truth, but John Doe sure is. To make it extra gross, you can now have a romantic night that ends with both of them in bed.
Oh my god, man, we are seeing some shit we ain't never seen before.
You think there's no possible way for this game to get more insane.
But wait, there's more.
We see a flashback to the night wife and John Doe's father was killed. It was John Doe all along. He got into a fight with his father over continuing to date his half-sister after learning that they're related. Fuck, I really wrote that? What am I doing with my life? I really hope you're wearing headphones, and I really hope no one's hearing me say this shit. So, to make it clear, John Doe started to date a girl he likes. He finds out that she's his half-sister after they've already become intimate. Learning this news, he tells his father that maybe it's not a big deal. This angers his father, understandably, so much that he pulls out a gun on John Doe and pistol whips him. They struggle for the gun, and John accidentally kills his father. He runs away and somehow forgets this all happened. Nothing adds up here though, it doesn't make much sense. How could he forget that he murdered his own father and that he was dating his own sister? If they met for the first time in the city they both live in now, that makes it impossible that they were dating beforehand, when wife shot her own father and ran away. She already knows who John Doe is. They were intimate at this point. She'd remember dating him. The murder takes place a week after she shot him. She's already long gone when John Doe kills their father. Even if John Doe does have amnesia, his wife doesn't. She should know who he is. You might be thinking, is this a plot hole? No, actually it's not. Is this the case of an unreliable narrator? Well, yes, but actually no. The path to the true ending can be found by looking at the watch long enough. When you do, John Doe will snap out of it. He's in his father's study. His father is telling him that he can't keep going on like this. He can't stay with her anymore, and while this whole thing sucks, now that he knows the truth, he needs to do the right thing. If the player says that they can still make it work, they end up back in the loop. However, choosing to leave will lead to the real ending. Well, kind of, not really. I've seen a lot of people misunderstand or seem confused by what happened. Yes, the whole game was a dream. None of it was real. There was no cop, there was no sick little girl, and there is no murder. There never was a marriage or an apartment. The watch is a clock on the wall. He still had sex with his half-sister, so you know, great. The game can end right here if you don't play it again. It can simply be about a guy that learned the vile truth of what happened, and to save his sister from this truth, he takes off. It will leave her heartbroken, yes, but she will be ignorant about what actually happened. It won't ruin her. Choosing to leave means John Doe has to live with what he's unwittingly done. But if you choose to continue the game, you'll find yourself in an empty apartment. The only option you have now is to find the watch and set it to 2 minutes before midnight. Haha, get it? Now you get the real ending. Let the father use hypnosis on John Doe to forget everything ever happened. Yes, that really is it. He just gets to forget this all happened. So, it was all a dream, and now in reality, he gets to choose to forget it all happened. I wish I could forget this game. While I do find the incest twist to be unnecessary shock value, I truly find the "it was all a dream" to be far more insulting to my time. It was all a dream. It was all some dopey 19-year-old's daydream, as his father tries to fix what's actually his fault in this situation. Yes, this is the father's fault, because at no point did he tell them that they were related when he knew damn well that they were related. His father really did have an affair with the nanny. And to insult the player even further, John Doe is going to be hypnotized, so he forgets all of this struggle. As far as John Doe is concerned, it never happened. He probably doesn't know his sister or father ever existed. By chance, this game managed to hit two of my biggest pet peeves in fiction. The first being, it was all a dream, and the second is hand-waving a character's trauma away so that it never happened. It's just gone. I think it's bullshit to make a character go through things and then just make them forget it. I never outright addressed the video title yet, but I do believe that I've answered my thesis. As I said earlier, in a quote that I heard from someone else, this game feels like being Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, instead of watching Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. You know what feeling negates that? Watching someone else play it, be it a let's play or a stream. As you watch this video, I've already played this game a few times, and I've watched other people play it twice. Even knowing the results beforehand, I enjoyed watching it unfold more than I did playing it myself. This wasn't due to the commentators' banter, although that does help. My opinion is that most games are better played than watched. You get more out of it. You get to enjoy your own experience with it. However, there are some games out there where you get the same exact feeling watching it and playing it. The first being Telltale games, which is probably why that company died. More people were watching those games being played than actually playing it themselves. The second is this game. 12 Minutes is a game where I feel like nothing is lost by watching someone else play it. Even if you watched a no commentary playthrough, that will be better than playing it yourself. I'm not a fan of video games being made into TV shows or movies, but I feel like this is a case where it would actually be better as a movie. This just feels like something that some college student would make into their art film. I'm not usually this negative in my videos. I generally like to talk about games I liked, but I wanted to try something different. Talk about a game that I really didn't like. That being said, 12 Minutes is a game that is better watched than played.